Okay, welcome back by part 2 of the Minion tutorial. We're going to work on the glasses right now. First thing we need is a tube. Change the orientation. 6, 2, 4. Sorry. Okay, maybe just a little bit thicker. Okay, and we need some fillets. Just around 6, 1.3, and just zoom in a little bit. Okay, maybe we need some more height elements. And we don't then need that many segments on the fillet. And yeah, I think that would be nice. And I'm going to put it in the right position. In center. Front a little bit. A little bit up. Take a look for a moment. Maybe drop a little bit. Oh. Okay, this will be fine for the moment. Okay, what we want now is the top of the tube. That has to be some kind of lid that will hold the glass. And to do that, we first need to make this object edible. We call it glass. Go to the edge mode and loop selection, and what we want is this loop, and what we want is we want to move it a little bit closer to this one so we can make a nice edge. Okay, go to the polygon mode, loop again, and what we want is we want sometimes just this one. Make sure it's not selected inside and it's selected all around. Extrude, and we want to go not outside, but we want to extrude to the inside, like this. Okay, and what we want then is some screws all around the surface which will hold the top part onto its position. To do that, we go to the edge mode, loop selection, and we want to select this particular loop. Then mesh command, and then we say edge to spline, and beneath the glass a glass spline appears, and on this glass spline we're going to create clones of our screws, and for that we just need a small sphere, very small. Of course this is way too big. To the side view. Okay, and of course it's all about personal taste. You can make them smaller, larger, but we will try this one. We can adjust it later on. Okay, then what we need is a cloner object, and we wanted to use the object mode, and it has to be on the glass spline. Okay, you probably wonder why nothing has happened, because we still have to put the sphere beneath the cloner object, and then suddenly all the screws appear. And as you can see, let me go for further away, they're a little bit too big, so we can make them smaller. And maybe 10 is also too much, so reduce that to 8. Okay, we'll hide this spline because we only need it to have object to clone on. Okay. What else do we need? Well, we need a glass inside the tube. And to do that we try a little trick, because we want it nice to be smoothly curved, and we can use an oil tank for this purpose. Okay, the other way around, and 15. Because we know we made our cylinder about this size. Let's check it over here, it's in the center. And of course we don't need that much height. And it has to be in front of our eye, but still inside the tube shape. Just check it over here. Push it still a little bit outside. Okay, and We don't need the entire shape. You only need the front of it, so just increase the height a little bit, like that. Make it edible. And then we're going to select and make sure you have to check that we have all the elements. Delete them. Inside glass, and what we can do now is go to the mesh and then optimize to make sure we do not have any additional points. Okay, and the other thing we can do is put this line again inside the object. And one other thing we can do is, if we don't like the curve, we can also adjust that, but for this moment we will leave it like this. Okay, because the object is not transparent, you can't see the eye through anymore. And to do that we have to put on a glass texture. Okay, let's add a glass texture and color white, diffusion about brightness 19, transparency you have to put refraction on 1.52 and add some reflectance, just a small point for the reflection if you put in some lights later on. Okay, add the texture. Wow, we can see the eye again. And as you can see, we have a nice reflection dot, and that's from the lights in the scene. Okay, when we go to the top view again, and you can see it's sticking out a little bit, so maybe it's better if we reduce the curve of the lens a little bit, like this, so it will fit totally inside the tube. Okay, that's nice. Okay, the next thing we need is we have to make some connectors. So you have the attachment around the face and the tube. And for that we need a cylinder, and of course way too big. Okay, we're gonna get it over here. What we need is some caps and some fillets, and we need 3 and 1. Okay, check our side view. and we want both sides and just 2 on one side. Okay, just make a copy, place the other one below this one. Yep, and then push a little bit inside the tube, so this will stick out nicely. Just check it over here. Yeah. Okay. So we can see the lines, and we want it to sit on this line. Okay, and let's connect them, and you call this connector 1, make a copy, and of course there will be connector 2, and we have to move that to the other side. Oh, sorry, something went wrong. Just go back. And what went wrong is I didn't make them edible first. So and then connect. Yeah, they're still there. Connector 1, connector 2, and move that one to the other side. Okay, and we get some nice connectors. Okay, then it has to stay attached to the head, of course, and to make that, we make a little ribbon around the body. And to do that, we can use the following method. First, we go to the body and just get rid of the subdivision for a second. You can see this line is exactly in the middle of the connectors, and that's the one we need. So make a loop selection, and this is the loop we want. And we do the same as we did before. You go to the mesh commands, just check it, where did it go? Edge to spline, sorry. And here it is. Here's the body spline. We can't see it because we can still see body. Oh, where did it go? Okay, because it was underneath and this was checked, you couldn't see it. And okay, when we have the body spline, what we need is a sweep. We put the body spline underneath the sweep, and what we need then is we can choose a rectangle, I guess. Let's try that one first. And it's way too big, of course. And then you can see it makes a nice ribbon around the head, but it's too thick. And we also want it to be a little bit wider because you have to connect it to the connectors. So we will increase the height. Just about that. And decrease the height. Yeah, and we want it nice and smooth. So go to sweep and okay, what we want to do now is change this to natural or uniform. It's also possible. But for now we keep it to yeah, let's say uniform, and make this a little bit smaller. Okay, it's not working. And make this around 4. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see the body again. We have to make sure that it's thick enough as we want it to be. You can also make a quick render. If you want the band to be a little bit thicker, you can just increase the width a little bit. Okay, what we want to do now is we want to attach these points to the connectors. And to do that, we have to make it edible. Okay, we have the sweep over here, and we go to the edge mode. Loop, and we want this loop. And what we want to do with this loop is we want to connect it to the connectors. That's why it's called connector, of course. And go in the side view. You can see it a little bit better. And you have to go to this point. And then you go to the side. And as you can see over here, it's attached now to the connector. Okay, you want to do this, of course, the other side as well. Grab this one and just pull it out. Just about here, and make the attachment. Okay, what we can do now is we just don't need this part anymore. Polygon mode, and we want to select all. Just, oh, I missed one. Okay. There we have a nice ribbon to attach the glass to the body. Okay. Okay, what we're gonna do now is to create some stitches on the band, and it will look a little bit more like a leather look. They always got those fancy stitches at the edges of the band, and to do that we need again a spline. So grab the band and go to the edges mode, and then try to grab one. Yeah, mouse command, touch the spline, and we got a band spline. Just hide this one for a second and hide the body as well. Okay, we got a band spline, and what we see is also going through. No, it's not going through. You have to make sure that we get rid of those double points. We don't need it. We only need the outside of the spline. So select these ones, get rid of them. This one as well. This one also. We're almost there. Yep. Last ones. What you see is going to happen, it starts closing the spline, and we don't want it. And what we also can do is we can add some points over here. Mouse command, create tools, and create points. We want one over here and also one over here, so all points are nicely even spread out over the entire spline. Okay, that's our basic shape to clone on, because we're going to use the clone tool once more. Okay, let's grab the clone one, cloner, and change it to object mode, spline in, and then we have to make the shape we want to clone. For the scissors we're going to use a torus. Of course it's way too big. Reduce the size. Just zoom in a little bit. Oops. You can see it's still too big. Yeah, we don't need the entire object. We just need one half of it to make a system a little bit smoother, because it's very small. We don't need that many pipe segments. Okay, the orientation is correct, and then you're gonna put it inside our clone object, and you can see it's gonna spread it along the spline. Of course this is not enough, maybe this is too much, but we will see later on. Let's grab our body again and the band again, and the first thing you notice, the orientation isn't correct, so we'll change that one. the other way around. Yep, that should do. And it's sticking out too much, so let's make them a little bit more flat. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why it's rotating, but I'll figure it out later on. Okay, the torus shape is too big again. Let's increase that also. Around 0.2. Yeah, and we have to rotate it a little bit more. So yeah, that looked nice. Okay, and of course it's not at the appropriate position, but we can change the spline, maybe around here. And yep, there we got our nice stitches. Yeah, looks great. Kill this stitches 1 or stitches bottom, and make a copy, and stitches top, because we want to have 2 rows, and we also need 2 splines. So band spline top, and we have to put in band spline top, and move that one up, and let's divide things evenly, so round a second and put it into half. Quick look. Yeah, we got the stitches. Okay, this is enough for the glasses for the moment. See you in the next tutorial. Bye.